Religion is system, belief, practices that are relative to what is held sacred. The other scholar is Milcha Eliad, pronounced as Milcha Eliad. Umepata hiyo?
Yes.
Yeah, don't say Milsea. It's Milcha Eliad. Milcha, just like CHA, Milcha. Milcha Eliad. So this man notes that the concept which people have of religion lies in the dynamic element of hierarchy, which people have. In other words, religion is a matter of hierophany that people have. Hierophany comes from the word hero, which means sacred, and phanon, which means to show. So it's a term designating the manifestation of sacred. So religion is the concept that people have on the manifestation of the sacred. How this sacred manifests or shows itself to the people is what religion is. The next scholar is, I think, okay, we finished about the scholars, but I would like us to move into looking at other definitions of religion. I'm sure if I was to ask you to define religion, you would give me your own definition. This is what I'm calling one man's definition of religion. Typical example of one man's definition of religion is given by Dalai Lama, that gentleman you see over there. Dalai Lama notes that my religion is very simple. My religion is kindness. So kindness is religion according to Dalai Lama. But when we talk of kindness, is that all that is religion? Some people would ask. But according to him, he is very contented that religion is simply kindness. Another one man's definition of religion is found in, sorry, there is a slide note here. I hope you are moving well. You can see the slide?
Yes.
Yes, the other one man's definition that you get or that are there that we have come across or that I've come across and I would like to share with you is that of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was the president of the United States of America. And this is what he says about his religion. When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion. So this is the way people define religion in terms of what they think or how they feel. Is Buddha. Buddha is the founder of Buddhism. He notes that religion is kindness, just like Dalai Lama. And he notes, be kind to all creatures. This is true religion. So those are the various definitions which you can call the one-man definition of religion. And it's very important that we get to know what religion is. Having noticed or looked at the various definitions of religion, let's move to this question, very important for our lecture. What is comparative religion? What is comparative religion? Simply put, it is the study of different religions. This is a very, very simple definition which can be given by any common man or woman because it's comparative religion, study of different religions. But for us in this lecture or class, we would like to engage ourselves into a scholarly definition. I want to expose you to two scholars. The first is J.N.K. Mugambi. He is a professor of religion. Professor Mugambi notes that comparative religion is the study of various religious traditions and of the interrelation to the way in which religious themes and ideas are fused into these traditions. Again, the study of various religious traditions, number one. Number two is a study of the interaction or interrelation to the way in which religious themes and ideas are fused or brought together in these religious traditions. So the first is to note the study of the various religious traditions. Number two is looking at the way religious themes and ideas are fused into those religious traditions. The next is Anderson. Anderson is also a scholar of religion who notes that religion is a study, or comparative religion is a study of comparative features of different religions of the world, important features of different religions of the world in a perfectly scientific manner. So we do it in a scientific manner, and then we focus on those features of different religions of the world. Let me note that the aim of comparative religion is not to assert the truth or falsity of any religion. No, we are not going to say that this religion is not true or this religion is not correct. Also, the aim of comparative religion is not to make value judgment or about other religions. To make a value judgment means to dismiss those religions or to have a bias or to have prejudice about or against religion or criminalist. So when you make a value judgment, it means that one is getting some prejudice, one is discriminating or biasing a certain religion. That is not the aim of comparative religion. Rather, the aim of comparative religion is to show that religions are similar and also different in significant ways. Note that religions are similar, but also different in significant ways. And that's why we do comparative religion, to get to know these similarities and differences of these religions. The next question is, why compare different religions? That's a good question. Why does one religious tradition often differ so markedly from one another? And why are some so very the same? For example, Abrahamic faiths or religions, such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, despite their common source, they all come or claim their source from Abraham. Why are they so different? It's just like members of the same family claiming to be born by the same parents. Those people may be similar in appearance and in some traits, but when you get into these people deeper, you find that they are different. That is exactly how religions are. They may be from a common source, but they are so different. And so, when we have these religions, when we do comparative religion, why compare them? Why? And I have been asking this question every time why we do comparative study of religion, and the answers I get from students are varied. I have shared with you some of these answers, and maybe you can expound on this. The first is knowledge of cultures, beliefs, and practices in the area of religion. We do comparative religion so as to get that knowledge of cultures, beliefs, and practices in the area of religion. Study of religion to appreciate, understand, and accommodate each religion. The next reason is that Africa is a home of many religions. And so when we get close interaction with these religions, we deepen our understanding. Very, very important. Another reason why we do comparative religion is we want to be aware of the interrelatedness of these religions. And when we talk relatedness, we want to see the areas of convergence, that is the meeting points, the areas of converging points of these religions, areas of divergence, the areas, the meeting points, and the points of departure, how they differ. Convergence is how the religions meet each other in terms of their likeness. Departure is how they differ. In order to understand the history, traditions, and doctrines of these religions, and this is very beneficial for us as the students doing religious studies. Evelyn, you may mute your mic so that in case somebody is speaking around, they may not be captured. So if you are in a noisy place, just mute the mic, and you can continue hearing me. Well, and if you are not in a noisy place, you can just put your mic on so that we proceed. Another reason why we do comparative study of religion is to understand religious law and religion is significant. Let me put it this way. We can use religion to something. That is the reason why we do institute to solve or to address a certain situation. We are able to understand the depth of this religion, the depth of this religion. For example, a Muslim may be confronted with a case, and this Muslim will say, I am guided by Sharia law. So if we do not understand the Sharia law, we may not be able to address that situation. So it's very important to know that, so as to know that every religion has its own laws and regulations. Even in Christians, we'll say, I did that because I was getting myself along 10 commandments. If not, and you don't know 10 commandments talk about, you may comparative religion, we are to get this understanding. Next is to have an objective mind is you do not judge prematurely. You do not have bias, a discrimination. That knowledge of for us, so that somebody will be laughing at Muslims when, especially at this time of Ramadan, when they are fasting, somebody will laugh at them and ask, why are they fasting? During the time of Easter, when Christians are celebrating the resurrection, death and resurrection of Christ, Muslims will not start laughing at them and asking, why are they engaging on these petty matters? No, that is what we are calling objectivity, because we are able to understand religion on its own terms. Another thing is the reason why we do comparative study of religions is to have a higher level of reasoning on religious matters. This higher level of reasoning is very important for us as scholars, because our thinking should be very high. Our level of reasoning must be higher, and people who have not done religion at all. Another reason we engage in comparative religion is to create new insights, new ideas, new perspectives towards religious issues. There are many issues that can be solved by religion. For example, in case there is a problem in the society, the question that you can put is, how can religion solve this issue? We have the COVID-19 with us. Is there a way that religion can solve this issue of the pandemic? Actually, there is a way that religion is solving the issue. Christians came together for prayer. Christians reflected. People are still praying for the pandemic to come to an end. So those are the new insights and perspectives. Then the last one is to create a room for interreligious interactions that will lead to religious tolerance. Some people are very intolerant about other people's religion. That's why you hear some religions fighting each other, denominations fighting each other. But once we get to understand, once we do comparative religion, we will remove those kind of misunderstandings that lead to religious tolerance, and we get that we move into interreligious interactions. Very well. Um, I want this slide I've shown there. What is comparative religion? I have answered that question, but I want them to focus on this statement that is down here. You can see where I'm highlighting in red, pointing in red, that comparative religion is not theology. We are not focusing on theology, the theology of those religions we are going to focus on, not their theology. Because theology is a different discipline. Theology comes from the prefix theo, Greek theo, which means God, and then ology, which means study of. So theology is simply the study of God. Ology is where we get the term logos, which in English translates to logic. And most of you know logic. So when you talk of logic, it's a philosophical discipline. So theology is the discipline of science which uses logic and to understand God. And that's why it's very philosophical. The next, so when we are talking of theology, there are so many types of theology that we have in the today. Maybe in quick passing, there is systematic theology. All religions, ideas fit together. Then there is another type of theology known as prolegomena. This deals with the first principles. Then there is another theology which is known as theology proper, which looks at the existence of God, the attributes of God, etc., etc. Another type of theology is theological anthropology. This focuses on the doctrine of man. And then there is Christology, which focuses on study and analysis of the work of Christ. Another theology is soteriology. Soteriology focuses on salvation, justification, and sanctification. Next one is pneumatology. It deals with the doctrine of the Holy Spirit. Pneumatology, from pneumatic. When you talk of pneumatic tires, we are talking of tires that have air. So the Holy Spirit, of course, you know, the way it's associated with that breath, you know. Then ecclesiology, that is the doctrine of the church, coming from the Latin ecclesia, which means the church. So ecclesiology is the doctrine of the church. Then eschatology is the theology that focuses on the end of time, or the afterlife, or if you want, the hereafter, life after death. So those are the types of theology. So in short, what are we saying? Comparative religion is not proselytizing. To proselytize means to evangelize or to convert people to a certain faith, attracting people and then converting them to a certain faith. Comparative religion is not indoctrination. comparative religion is not a theological debate. So, comparative religion is not either of those four things I've mentioned. Comparative religion is about looking at each religion in its own terms. And what about God? God in comparative religion. Religion needs to have God. Are there some religions without a God? I don't know. Well, there are some questions there. What came first? Religions or gods? And that question is very, very vital, because some people argue that God did not create religion. God created man or woman. And therefore, man, or if you want humanity, created religion. So the question is, what comes first, religion or gods? Well, that's a good question. The observation is that since we have so many religions, does that mean that we have so many gods? I don't know. Again, the question is, were religions created to explain gods? Or were gods created to give a reason for having religions? You can see on the left hand side of the screen, there is the chicken, and then on the right hand side of that slide is an egg with a chick hatching. And then katikati at the middle, we have somebody there who is saying and is actually putting the hand in the mouth. This is what you can call a controversy. You have heard of people saying or talking of the chicken egg controversy, because some people will say it's the chicken that came first and that came first. Those people who argue that the chicken came first will argue, will always ask the question like, then how was this egg fertilized so as to give a chick? Others argue that God created the egg, which was fully fertilized, and then it grew up and it was in good temperatures, and then it hatched into a chick. The chick grew up, finally became the chicken. Others will say, no, it cannot happen. The chick needs the mother or the chicken to grow, etc., etc. That is a controversy or a debate. And that's why we say, when you engage with the question, were religions created to explain gods, or were gods created to give a reason for having religion, you are engaging in a very controversial debate, which is like that of the chicken and egg. And you may not come to a conclusion. Well, I know, having presented the way I've presented, some confusion is building up. Just like this one is saying, I'm so confused. God, like we are talking of so many religions. We are talking of God, whether God is there or not. That just raises more questions. And the more we raise these questions, the more we get to move deeper to understanding why these questions, or why, or how to answer these questions. So in short, when we talk about religion, comparative religion, we are speaking about gods. We are speaking about, we are speaking about the people. But In religion, there is that element of Latin word Deus, which means or theo, which means God. There are forms of deism. Deism is that idea of one God being separate from creation. I'm sure you have come across these terms like atheism. It's a rejection of the belief that any gods or deities exist. And simply put, atheists will always say there are no gods or there is no God. It's a total contrast of theism. When there is monotheism, which is the idea that there is but one God. In Western Christian circles, or in for example, Christianity, God is traditionally presented as possessing three major qualities or properties: omniscient, that is all knowing; omnipotent, that is all powerful; and omnibenevolent or omnibenevolence. God is all perfect. There are other properties like omnipresence. These and many more. But the three that I've given there are the most uncontroversial and dominant in the three religious traditions, such as Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Others are controversial in the sense some people will say this does not hold in this religion and all that. But the three that I've presented are found in many religions of the world. All the religions that have the idea of God. The next form of theism is what we call polytheism, a belief that there are many gods or goddesses. There are many varieties of polytheism. The first variety is henotheists, for example, worship only one God. They worship only one God of the many gods that are there. Either because God found to be powerful or is found to be worthy of worship than the others. For example, some Christians, we have some sects within Christianity. They say that God is a trinity, that is three in one. And they say those three gods, among the three, God the Father is the one who should be worshipped. But the other two, God the Son, who is Jesus, and God the Holy Spirit, are lesser gods, and they should not be more worshipped more. So this is what henotheists have in other religions. I've given an example of Christians so that you get to understand that better, because I know most of you identify themselves with Christianity. It's just like for those who are Muslims, like Abdullah, I'm sure you know. Abdullah, are you a Muslim?
No.
You are not?
Yes.
Oh, I can see. Maybe you could be. You could be in, yeah, but I'm sure. Do we have a Muslim in our class? Well, I don't know, but it will be interesting even to have an atheist in our class, also to have a traditionalist, so that when we come to be talking about these religions, we'll be sharing ideas from various perspectives. But for Muslims also, they have this idea of they don't have the idea of the Trinity. I gave Christianity because it gives a typical example of henotheism. Then we have another category known as cathenotheists. These have a similar belief. They have similar beliefs, but worship a different God at different times. For example, there are those people who engage in certain activities like the blacksmith. The blacksmith may have a god they worship before they engage in that work. Then we also have the fishers, the fishermen. When they go into fishing, they find themselves in situations that may be very, very worrying, attacks by sharks. Sometimes there may be storms in the seas. So they worship God of the seas, gods of the fishermen, so that they protect them. So at the time they are fishing, they worship that god. After fishing, and when they are traveling back, they worship the god of the travelers. So gods are worshipped for their own activities or for their own roles. The moment somebody is traveling, you have the god of the traveler. When they are harvesting, they have the god of the, of the when they are planting, there is the god of the fertility. When there is the moon has started, then there is the moon god. When there is a lot of those kind of gods, that's what I'm talking about. The next category of gods is the so-called pantheism. Or theism. The next form of theism, thank you, is pantheism. Pantheism is the idea that one God exists in creation, and this world is part of God, who is greater than the creation. Simply put, God is the world, and the world is God. So pantheists will look at nature or the universe, and then they say, when they look at nature or when they look at the universe, they see God. One of the famous pantheists is the Western guy known as Baruch Spinoza, who looked at the world and found that the world is very complex. He understands the world in its complexity, and came to a conclusion that that complexity of the universe is similar to the complexity of God. So according to him, God is the universe, and the universe is God. The next category is panentheism. This is a variation of pantheism, but holds that the physical universe is part of God. That is, God. God is not the universe, but the physical part of the universe is part of God. But there is more than this. Excuse me, there is something, excuse me.
Hi guys. Simpiga kelele. Tuko break.
Halo. Everybody,
Hello.
tutaenda break njali. Kidogo tu nimalize.
Sawa.
Okay. Now I can see that time is almost off, but we are supposed to end the class at 11. But let me just finish this and say that when we look at pantheism and panentheism, the difference is that God is the world, and the world is pantheism. And panentheism is that the world is God, but God is the world. Well, that I think sums up. So we look at the major world religions. We're looking at the world religions that we do comparatively. And I would like us to start by looking at where these religions are found. For example, this religion known as Christianity. I've given you the world map. You can see the purple. You can see the purple color. I know men have color blind, but I know the ladies around, you can see the purple, and men can also struggle. So we have the purple color. That's where all Christianity is. Then the next religion is Islam, which is presented in color green. And then we have another religion known as Hinduism, which is in color brown, etc., etc. That is a world map of religions. So when we talk of world religions, we are not talking of religions that are domiciled or focused on one part of the world. These are called world religions because they are found in every part of the continent.
Bado haipo.
Hi, Mercy.
Excuse me, sir. We can't hear
People
you.
who want to join the session, you can see, but Clinton, you can hear me.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Clinton?
Yes, sir.
Yes, there are some people who like to join, but I can see they are not joining because I had set the time to be up to 10:40. So I don't know what we do. So let me just on saying that the 6 major world religions that we are going to be focusing are Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. And I have given you the population. Christianity is the leading at 2.1. We also have Islam, the second being at 1.3 million. Then we have Hinduism, which is at 900 million, etc. So for this, I would like to call off this lecture by saying that I have posted some notes. Please try to download them. In case you have a problem, just text me and or you call me and tell me whether you have a problem. Yeah. In case you have any problem, let me get to know. But for now, let me stop there, hoping that the next time we have a meeting, we shall meet well. We have a class at 1. Cynthia?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Please, let's also focus on this class very well. I'll open it very well. And we try also to start working on the screen, at least to get to know how to join a class, how to raise a question, etc., etc. So tell the other guys that the class is ended, and we shall move on we shall meet at 1 for the other class. And the earlier you join, the better, so that we finish that class and move on to something else. Thank you so much. Mbarikiwe sana.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be trying to present also the video of this lecture that I have presented. Mtaweza kudownload nikiwapatia?
Yes.
Yeah, sawa. I can attach it in this forum, and then you can download. Sawa sawa.
Okay.
Any
Okay,
query?
Okay.
Anybody with a question? Okay, wacha niseme hakuna swali. Take care, and please take care wherever you are. We want to hear that you are strong and healthy. Mkae vizuri, eh?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
I will be here.